I'm Neat,
I'm Rox.
and this is the
The
Bourbon
Bourbon Barrel.
Barrel. And today, now that we've been able to acquire these,
Right.
it took some doing. This was over months we were able to do this.
True story.
We are going to do an Elijah Craig flight. We're going to do their standard offering of their just 94 regular rock and roll.
Small batch.
We're going to do their toasted pick, which is also 94.
Oh, is it 91? I
Yep,
was gonna ask you.
that's all right here.
I have not. I have a bottle too, but I haven't played. I haven't.
Yeah. And then lastly, we're going to do the barrel proof, which is not 94. It's 120 proof. So you're going from 94 to 120. But
Hmm.
we were able to get all three of these bottles, so very cool, very exciting. And yeah, we're gonna try them out and see what we like. We're gonna start with their OG offering and move up from there.
Sure, absolutely, yeah. I've been a big fan of Elijah Craig Small Batch since we started. Since
Right.
I
It was
started.
one of our favorite low budget, easy pour, good stuffs,
Yeah,
good times.
94 proof to me. Nice. The poppy pop.
And all these were just open just before we turned on the camera. So
They haven't even popped the corks. We just took
right.
off the plastic. So yeah.
There you are, sir.
You know what would be interesting too that I've thought of and we haven't necessarily discussed is and a lot of this. I've had this and I
Yeah.
um would be to either blind or just do a show where we and it would probably maybe have to be four or something to do it. But what if we did like for instance an Elijah Craig that's been there but opened
Hmm.
for 6 months or something, and then we buy one that isn't like I said. I asked him earlier, "Do you need me to bring my?" I bought a 375, a small batch, because we've had it a lot. It's readily available.
Hmm.
We were gonna do a show. I didn't need to buy a big bottle necessarily right now, and I'm broke. So he said, "No, I've got one. We'll open that one." Blah blah blah. And I wondered to myself, I was because I didn't know if yours was open or
Right.
not until you responded, "We'll open mine." So I was gonna be like, if we did like a show, or but probably it would have to be a blind because we
Yeah.
know what's gonna be, and we already are gonna have a lot of preconceived notions. But we should, if we did a blind of things that are open and not open, but the exact same thing, to try to really find out what, some people think it's a huge difference, other people think it's no difference. Chad and Sarah say they've always only lost in all their time of doing this 3 or 4 bottles, 5 bottles maybe, that they thought went bad or changed or anything like that. And that's a lot.
That
Like if you
is.
look at their collection and stuff, I'm shouting out to It's Bourbon Night. They're awesome. I watch them all the time. He watches them a lot.
Yeah,
Um, I try to watch their Sunday night lives, but I don't. You know what I mean though? That would be kind of an interesting like
for sure.
um blind, yeah, just to see if anything. And or we've also switched back from not
Hmm.
doing ice anymore.
That's
If
true.
you watch the first bunch of episodes, we went from ice to no ice to
Yeah.
always ice or
And
whatever.
mix and match, do a little bit of both.
Canceling
Um,
rocks.
oh no. I mean, I throw water in here and there sometimes if I want to try and open it up and see if it tastes different. So, like, because we had that experience on some barrel picks. So
We did. We did.
on the barrel pick stuff, if I add a little water, I feel like it helps
It
sometimes.
does. And yes, I 100% agree with what he just said. I think sometimes late at night, I always put ice in my cup before I even drink it. And that's not, it is somewhat to just
Mhm.
mellow it down because I'm like, I don't need to be all hammered and stuff. I'm
Right.
just enjoying the drink. But, and usually when other people do it, I don't want to be like everybody else, but like they
You want to
usually
just
especially get
drink
droppers as if
it.
they're like pharmacists.
Mhm.
He's not a pharmacist, but never mind. Um,
Neither here nor there.
that's right.
But the nose is sweet, and we've had this before,
Um,
and it was one of our favorites.
it's still
And
one of my favorites.
yeah,
At a full size 750 bottle is like $30 or less.
yeah,
I
it's
mean,
like 27.99 or
yeah,
something. Like it's
yeah,
it's it's super affordable, and for a bourbon in that price range, go nuts.
true story. Heaven Hill product too.
I had a bottle of Heaven Hill I've never opened.
Is a green label?
No, it's a blue one.
A blue label? Heaven Hill? I could just be thinking incorrectly. Is there a way to think incorrectly, guys? I don't think there is. I said that wrong. My bad. Um, I may be remembering incorrectly. Now that makes sense. He's searching for bottles. So, oh, the 101, right, or the 100, sorry.
I don't know why he thinks it's green. Maybe he's colorblind.
I thought I saw something with green label
This
that,
is what he was talking about.
yeah. No, he's totally right. Bottle and bond. Um, which again, I realized recently that it has to be 100. I thought
Hmm.
bottle and bond meant it had to be 100 or more. It has to
Just
be
exactly.
100, which is why some of those other companies put out 101 just
Just
to
to
be
give them the
like,
bird.
yeah, just
And
like,
it's funny because it's Wild Turkey 101, so they're giving the bird twice
yeah, Evan
because
Williams
it's a turkey.
101. No, Evan Williams is 100 on mine. There's another 101 though. I almost want to say the David
Makers.
Gibson Makers 101. Yeah, Makers is like, bite me.
Yeah.
So,
So, but
no, this is a good bourbon.
yep.
It's almost on every list of beginners bourbons if you go to different shows and stuff. Where it's like, if you're gonna start, give this one a crack. It's a good, you know what I mean?
But this is definitely like I'm gonna say probably your top 10 under $40 list on anyone's
Oh
list
yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
It's good.
Probably under 30 if we wanted to put it there. You know what I mean? As far as like,
And you can find 10 under 30. Inflation's real, man.
that's true. That's true. We live in small town New York, so maybe we have a hint of a better
Better deal than like a state or like a state
city.
controlled.
Yeah.
Like PA controls theirs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
controlled stuff.
I did not know that.
It's messed up. Yeah, they literally have a PA lottery system for like rare and hard to find bourbons.
For the state, like so.
You have to be logged in on a specific website and you have to have like, an account and a PA address in order to even qualify.
Wow.
Hmm.
It's weird that they can have so much control over someone else's product, like it's not theirs, and they,
Well,
as far as
this is how
selling
it's
it,
special that way because it's always been a very heavily regulated government thing.
man,
That's why, they were
a
always.
shit.
That's why you can't build a still and not register it with the government.
I'll build all the stills I want. All right,
Good luck getting. You'd have to get copper sheeting because you can't just buy the parts offline because they'll know.
I'll find it. All right, I'm gonna drop it on Russia too, so we're on the same port.
Uh,
Page, same port, same page.
Nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, like, still one of our favorites. Still
Oh
good.
yeah, that's
Still a really good price for something like that. And their corks very, I
large.
don't know. I like their cork design with like the top of
Size
the bottle.
matters.
It meshes. It's cool, and I don't know. It's just fun. It says Elijah Craig right on the top.
That's what I was gonna ask you. I was like, it looks like something's on the top.
Yeah, and it's I don't know. It's nice little design. A little bit of like they've got the year 1789 etched out in the
It's a
glass.
Baptist minister. Some of the rumors are that he started it with fish barrels,
Pickle
both of
barrel.
them, pickle barrels. I think I heard
And
both.
fish. I think Jesse told us that. No?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. And then if you watch Bourbon Real Talk, which I do, and shout out Randy Sullivan, awesome guy, very smart guy. I he's a non-distiller producer partner in a bottle or an offering. Oh, it's called the Prideful Goat. Is what he and I've looked it up, and where we live in New York, the only one I could find that you could even buy to get shipped here anywhere that I've ever found is like $300+. So that's not in my price budget, and especially not if I haven't reviewed it or heard other reviews of it. But he's a really smart guy, and he goes on and on about how Elijah Craig, a lot of the story might be a little bit fabricated, and that there were some Tesseract brothers from Endgame
Tesseract.
that are more the people who started bourbon and started charring barrels instead of doing that stuff. So
So
anyway,
just so this is the initial offering, and it's a lot lighter than the other two.
I thought you said toasted wasn't that bad. What's toasted again?
Toasted is 94,
Yeah, so
but I'm saying
94.
color wise, this is a lot lighter.
Oh
Whereas
yeah.
you can see this is a darker one because it's been in the toasted barrel, probably bigger char or repeated barrel charring.
So we're gonna taste two that are the same proof,
Same proof. Here you go.
and one has just simply been
Yeah,
in a barrel. Father of bourbon shows up.
toasted.
He's dead. There's nothing on the back.
Lovely.
I'm gonna read the back. You can wait.
He went to the public education system.
I did. Must have bashed in toasted new oak barrels. So would this be one? We haven't tasted it yet, so we don't know.
Right.
But would this be one we wanted to put in a toasted show?
Like a double oaked kind of.
Well, is it double oaked or is it higher toast? Is it a higher char level? Instead of a three, is it a five or a four or a six?
I feel like most everything.
Any other number of
According to Jesse, everything was like four. So you can get specific chars, but
was it everything's four or if four is
most
the
things
ones
are
he
four.
bought?
The
Everything's
alligator char is four,
alligator char.
yeah, which is
Does
usually
that mean we
dark
were
char.
alligators worse
Not like
than
you know how it's like
animals?
you've seen like the back of an alligator is kind of scaly.
I don't really spend too much time with alligators.
Uh, I knew what he meant.
I knew it was scaly.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I knew what he meant about most things. I don't. There's so much. We
Yeah.
spent a half an hour before we started filming today just talking about stuff that's
Yeah.
like there's the idiosyncrasies are
Hmm.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know. And it's like I told way back when the first time we tried Woodinville and maybe our 90s episode, it was like they leave their barrels sitting out in the open to just be rained on and everything else for like a while in
There,
the middle of Washington State.
so it's always raining.
Or like, yeah, it's just so, oh man, there's just so many. Like, and then to try to blind and guess and this,
Yeah.
that, and the other, it's just, ugh. Have you tasted yet?
Yeah, but I'm getting ready
I haven't
to.
even poured.
Oh, well, I think I gave it to you to
I
pour.
was looking at it and reading it. I didn't pour it
I see.
because I'm on my game.
He is on his A
We
game.
haven't uh, filmed in a couple weeks
It's
because the
true.
boy here's been sick.
I was deathly ill with something that wasn't COVID.
There you go. Do we want to tell him what it is?
The
The the
flu?
the god off. I was gonna try to make up some horrible disease like gonosyphil herpelitis.
Actually, fun fact. When I was 18 years old, I
A
uh,
weird spot to
I
just
got
like
a
actually laugh.
I got sick with something called herpangina, caused by the Coxsackie virus. Yeah, it's ulcers in the back of your throat, and it's usually gotten by small children in like the summer months. And I was 18, and it was the dead of winter, and I had herpangina. Yeah, ulcers in the back of your throat. Now you know.
I have a new name for a new show.
I
When we
bet
were
you
talking about
do.
naming shows, herpangina. I've never heard that word before in my life
Yeah, check,
until right now.
Google it. It's a real thing.
Herpangina.
Yeah, man.
What? Is your herpangina okay now?
It's not a long lasting effect. It's like a transitory disease.
What?
Yeah. This summer, you done?
Does it come back every 6 months?
No, it's good.
Okay.
It's cleared out of my system long ago.
What a weird place to mention that because I'm already buzzing and you're like, it's still all over vagina. And you're like,
Caused by the Coxsackie virus. I know.
oh
I
my
can't.
God.
You can't make it up. Cheers.
Anyway, holy
Yeah.
balls.
So toasted.
We're toasting and to the same proof that we just toasted the small batch.
Yep.
And yeah, because we've already done small batch, but the only other Elijah Craig offerings that are even remotely regular is like 18 year, which
Hmm.
comes out, I
And
don't know if it's annually
that's
or
super
every
expensive.
two times. Yeah,
Yeah.
where you get, and it's never here,
No.
just even in a lockup case, I've
Exceptionally
never
hard to
seen it.
find. Yeah.
This is the first time we saw those,
Hmm.
and we grabbed them immediately to try
Yeah.
them because
We each got a bottle. We each opened one for this show, so that the other one has the other one unopened. So
true
it's
story,
fun fact.
which could come back into something else for us if we do an episode that is a barrel proof or is a toasted episode,
Hmm.
and we can,
Yeah.
that way,
Um.
So yeah, but see, we were talking about the color before. Look at the color of the
Yeah.
black one. You're like, what? Oh, so it's an amberish, reddish
It's
color.
definitely amber.
Yeah, it's
It's the color of your energy.
amber, huh? I think she gave me the herpingen.
Oh,
Oh,
it's not the
well,
same thing.
we're going to toasted
The
barrels.
toasted is actually.
Are we immediately comparing this to some of the toasteds we've enjoyed?
I was comparing it to the
To the
just
small.
standard Elijah
Okay.
small batch, and it's a little darker. It's a little more. I can definitely taste the more charred notes of like the caramel and the vanilla. I actually think I might like this a little bit better than their small batch.
It's not. It's good.
Yeah,
I like
there's
it.
no real burn.
I like the
I
flavor.
mean, I can tell I'm drinking a bourbon, but there's no like harsh, like nothing's dancing on my tongue saying fire, fire, fire. There's more of just like it's warm.
You have a lot of things that dance on your tongue saying fire, fire, fire in your life that I should know about.
I read a lot of books about nutcrackers. Yeah.
Fair enough. All right. I'm proud of him for having a response to that didn't make us have to edit something because I really set him up there to spike it into screw all of you, Vil. And he did not. He was like, no, dude, lay it up, calm down. You're getting a little bit wild over here. In my defense, the episode before this, I sipped a little too much, and I'm sad, and I'm mourning the loss of the bourbon I poured down the sink because that's just blasphemy.
Pour some
That's
out for
blasphemy.
pour some out for one's homies.
Yeah. Oh, well, I would do that for people that, but this is good.
Yeah, I like
The
it.
issue I would have with this, even if they were both readily available, is do you buy two bottles of small batch or do you buy one bottle of toasted barrel?
That's true because this was like a $50 versus
60, 59.99.
yeah.
Both of them, the barrel
Wow.
and the toasted, were 59.99. And where we got it,
So I mean
if you go to
that's
price gouging stores, stop it.
don't
You're
enable them.
perpetuating, yeah, don't do that. Okay. It's okay if it's 5 or 10, 15, $20, whatever. They got to make a profit. It's a business. They're trying to stay in business.
But someone who's saying like 110 plus for something like this, Don't do
No.
it. Don't do it.
Zero no. Absolutely not. Zero no. That would do it.
Like I could see paying up to, depending where you live and what the price of normal things are, I could see paying up to like $80
For what?
for one of these because
Oh, you mean charging? People
yeah,
charging
people
you. I
charge
wouldn't
you.
pay it.
I wouldn't,
No, yeah. I wouldn't
but
pay it.
I mean, again, this was $60. So
Yeah.
somewhere like New York City, 80,
Okay,
80 might be
all
like,
right. He's right. I got what he's saying now. I had to get the context of where he was
but
going with that.
like, yeah. So if you're in like a city, $80 maybe. But if you're anywhere else, if you're paying more than $60 for something like this,
Yeah.
why? Why are you doing that?
Yeah, again, like I said,
And
five or $10. Sure.
to everybody, to each their own. Like if you really want it that bad and it's the only place you can find it and you gotta have it,
Agreed, totally.
it's your money, you do what you want.
He's absolutely right.
But as far as price gouging and doing that kind of thing, it's not worth it. You can buy so
How
many
many
other things.
times do you see in the bourbon collectors groups and stuff where somebody's
Yeah.
like, "Should I buy this?" And it was like,
Like
"That's
100 and
Bland's for $1,100." I think it's
yeah,
a
something like
Bland's.
that.
Now I know there's different, like,
Expressions of Blanton.
yeah, there's a gold one. I was
There's a
just
gold
seeing
label,
some
there's a
of them.
black label, there's a blue
The
label.
gold is until COVID, it wasn't available in the United States,
Hmm.
and now it is. So
Yeah,
now it's kind of, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
don't misinterpret this. Like, it's going through the roof. Does that help? I don't know. Anyway, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
but yeah. Anyway,
So I'm actually enjoying this a lot, and I would do it again.
would you? I mean, we can, and we should, and I hope we do a toasted barrel blind at some point.
Yeah, I would love that.
Yeah.
Because I like the toasted barrels. I like the extra char shit. That's gone forever.
The now here, I got it. Sorry, there you go. Um, sorry, herpangina. Yeah, it happens. I can't even believe the word came out. That's the name of this episode, herpangina.
Oh.
So, no, no, the Baptist minister won't let us call this episode herpangina.
You
So
exercise our demons.
he's very upset about it. He actually cooks some of his pickles in a barrel. It's weird. I don't know why, but so the other toasteds though we've tried. What was that? A 1910 proof? 93?
Yeah.
93 versus 94. That's not toasted, but it's double.
It's like a double oak, yeah. Which would give you more of, it may not be more toasted, but it's definitely more of an oak.
So we have this toast.
Woodford double oaked
It's a
toasted is
double,
Nulu.
but
Nulu toasted we have.
the only other one we had was Basil Hayden's,
Yeah.
where they use the word toasted. What is? See, we should have. I should have. We should have. Whatever. Like, does that necessarily automatically mean like I don't want to go too deep. I don't know.
Yeah,
Obviously, I already got a buzz, but you know what? Alcohol kind of can change it a little bit. I don't know if anybody told you it's not water. But you know what I mean? Like, where do you? How do you know if it's? We got to figure out what toasted means versus double barreled. Does toasted just simply mean that it was barreled in one char and then another char?
extra toasted would mean that there's got to be
Or
more
you just threw in another word,
char.
extra. There's no other word that says extra. That's what I'm
Okay,
saying.
fair enough. So a toasted has to be more toasted than something that doesn't say toasted. So I would just assume that is extra toasted.
So, but it's okay, yeah, but if we okay, that's what I'm saying though. We take this, it's extra toasted over small batch,
Yeah.
right? But is it extra? We would have to look up the char levels,
I think
bro.
we'd have to find the char level to see if it's a different char level or if it's just like it's been oaked twice.
Was it in that barrel
I don't know.
the whole time, a more toasted barrel than the other Elijah Craig small batch, or did they double it and add some char to another? You know what I mean? There's
That would have been great research for this episode.
yeah, yeah.
So,
You know what? We do research. We
so
get through
yeah,
a lot of stuff.
by all
We have
means,
jobs and families and
if
shit to do.
if you know
You have a
the answer to
computer?
if
Do you? Look it up.
if you know the answer to that question as to what the difference is between double oaked and the toasted is,
Sorry, guys.
by all means, just drop a comment, let us know, and that'll be great, and we'll know, and you'll know, and everyone will be happy.
Until it's been a couple weeks since
Yeah,
I filmed.
but so did you pour your barrel strength?
I poured it. I have
Okay,
not. Yeah.
so let's
What's the proof on the barrel,
the cruise
sir?
is 120.2.
I learned a couple things about barrel stuff that I was doing a little bit of research.
Dash 921.
So, barrel strength and cask strength are the exact same thing. Cask usually comes from a European, like a more Scotch, Irish whiskey, stuff like that. They use the word cask more than barrel. Barrel proof means cask strength means barrel proof. It means when the barrel's done and they bottle it, it comes straight out of the barrel and goes straight into the bottle. No water, no nothing. Foolproof is a little different. We're not getting into that right now, but we'll talk about it some other time. Foolproof is different, where in the United States, to put whiskey into the barrel, it can't be over 125 proof to be a bourbon.
Right.
Right. Now, what it comes out as, you bottle it, and then it's barrel proof or cask strength. Foolproof means whatever proof you put it in the barrel as,
Is
if
what
it
it comes out as.
if it comes out as a higher proof because the evaporant made it a higher proof, it evaporated more of the water than it did the alcohol for the sake of whatever reason, whether it was the heat or the
Mm.
wherever they are. They actually do water it down. 1792 is the example of that to
Foolproof.
125. Foolproof. That's what
Yes.
foolproof means.
We
We're
have
not
a
doing
bottle of the 1792
we
foolproof.
do. You liked it more than I did way back when.
Way back
I
when.
would
That's
be an
true.
interesting question to ask now. Some interesting points to that is the highest you can barrel is 125 in the United States for bourbon.
The highest it can come out is 140, though, right?
I did not catch that,
Okay.
so I apologize.
That's what I thought, though.
Wild Turkey, for example, is the lowest of all major distillers. All their barrels go in at 110 proof.
Hmm.
They do not proof any. They do not put the proof of the barrel entry product in their barrel at higher than 110.
So no matter what it comes out as when it's done with like the fermentation and everything,
When they start it,
their
it's
mash
10.
bill, no
We
matter
only have one
what,
mash bill.
yes, but no matter
Okay.
what, they throw water into it until it hits 110 proof.
Well, yeah. I assume it's higher than that. Yeah.
And
So
so their white dog has water in it that brings it to 110.
right. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Weller is 114. They don't put anything in a barrel for Weller that's higher than 114. The other part of that was I didn't write it down, but I do kind of remember this. Is the guy I was listening to, not talking to. I might have been talking to him if I was drinking, and he didn't listen. But he's a jerk. He's on TV. I think it was Randy Sullivan. It might have been the Whiskey Dictionary guy, Bill. Was Wild Turkey believes that if you have a lower proof going into the barrel, that they don't have to add more water at most at points others do because of the lower entry proof. So, and therefore, when they bottle it, they think that what you're getting in the bottle has had more time with the oak and actually in the barrel, so it's got more influence as opposed to something and they just add water bottle.
Yes, right,
So
which
there's a lot
takes
more
away from that flavor.
flavor,
Yeah.
which might help with why we thought, or others think too,
Yeah.
turkeys, you know,
It does like with the whole idea behind like you put it in the barrel and stuff evaporates. It boggles my mind and blows my mind that the alcohol is the thing to evaporate over the water sometimes. And it's true, it happens because things go in
apparently.
and they come out at a higher proof, which means that the alcohol stayed behind with the water evaporated, even though alcohol has a much lower vapor pressure. So sciencey stuff.
Would
None
that
of
would
that's
that
me.
have
But that's
would that
crazy.
actually do with as far as the heat, like Texas, Louisiana, down further south?
I feel like the hotter it gets, the more easily the alcohol would evaporate.
The alcohol.
Like if you put like isopropyl alcohol or even like you spill like ethanol
Okay.
on like a sidewalk or something
Okay.
and you spill water next to it, that alcohol will be gone before the water's gone. 100% of the time. So it boggles my mind how that's inversed in the barrel. It's like it must absorb into the barrel, and then when the barrel gets cold, that alcohol comes back in after the water's gone.
This is why we should have done this episode first,
This is nuts.
because I'm
Going down that rabbit
totally
hole.
listening and paying attention and still getting confused, which shouldn't
Yeah, I don't know.
boggle your
That's weird.
mind at all.
So barrel proofs.
By the way, he has a background in chemistry to a degree. He really truly does. I'm not making that up. He's an
True.
incredibly smart person.
Yeah.
I've said that a million times, and I'm not lying any of the times I say it. So I'm still saying it. He's incredibly smart. I'm not saying I'm dumb and blah blah blah. I'm just saying he's got a background in some of this stuff we're talking about, whereas I do not. That's all I'm saying.
I really enjoy the nose on this.
Oh yeah, there's
It's a really nice nose. There's lots of sweetness in that nose. There's definitely a lot of the caramel notes that I got from even the toasted. Like that barrel proof, that smell is delightful, man.
this is my easily my favorite nose of
Yes,
this
the
episode.
three. Yeah.
It's borderline my favorite episode we've
So,
filmed today,
oh,
as
I
far
think
as
it
the
is.
nose.
I think the nose is it's right up there. So we did another episode where there was a 1910 Old Forester, and that nose was very good. But I think this might even have that beat as far as the noses go.
I think something else, similar but on a different note. Um, we've tried 1910 Old Forester numerous times, and we've liked it. And we did our first ever blind. You might have seen it, you might not have seen it. Drop the blind first because I'm about
Yeah,
to fuck this up.
that's fair.
Um, we not only have tried 1910 numerous times and picked it over other Old Foresters, but we've also done a blind and picked it over other double oaked, I
Hmm.
believe.
Yeah,
And
even over the Woodinville.
and this
Not
is
Woodinville,
no.
Woodford.
I'm glad when you make a mistake
Yeah, I
because
screwed
it's
up.
way less often than I do. So I'm just the comedy relief. I'm just here for sex appeal. You know you like it. It's been a while since I did that. I did that in some of the goofier earlier episodes that probably got like 4 views. Um, you tasted it.
I did.
What are your taste comments?
Definitely warmer than the other two by far.
Fair
You
enough.
can
Fair enough.
tell that there is a higher proof to this. That being said, it's not all bad that it's a higher proof.
Oh no. Well,
Like
your proof is
we've been liking the higher proofs
there's
lately.
more flavor.
There's yes, but there's a harsh balance point between the flavor and the burn.
Right. Right. Yeah.
And so if you don't get that burn right,
Right.
then it's bad.
Weekend at Bernie's.
However, this is not a bad burn. This burn is actually it's smooth. Again, there's not a lot of dancing on the tongue. It's more of just a warmth. It's not like
It's not
it's
holding
not
on
like
making you
like pop rocks almost. Like
right.
you remember
Pop
if you've
rocks.
had a high proof
That's a hell of a
if
comparison.
you've had a high
Never
proof
heard
bourbon
that
that's
on the
rough,
show.
it's like
Never heard.
pop rocks on your tongue.
She called this episode Pop Rocks.
Pop rocks.
That's awesome. And it's not a big, it's not,
Yeah.
you know,
This is more of a it's just okay, it's warm. I know I'm drinking alcohol. I know that, but I'm not
I
feeling
mean,
like excited
I usually
fireworks.
like to know my proof going in.
Hmm.
Um, when we do blinds, it's gonna depend on what we do. Like if we do 100 blind, you know what I mean? I mean,
Yeah.
100 proof, 101 proof blind, not 100 blinds. Here's 100 whiskeys. Good luck. We'll be the dead people in the
There's
corner.
definitely almost like a weeded. Are these? I don't know.
My apologies, sir. You're gonna have to do that on your own.
Yeah.
I do some research. I don't go too crazy, or I
No,
don't
that's
have the time
fine.
to go too crazy.
So this is 12 years old.
Heaven Hill product.
That's why it's smooth. It's because of the 12 year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Nice. It's not bad though. No, there's. I really like that.
It's definitely a viscous, heavy oral sensation. Um,
It's not so raw.
I know it does, but everybody says
Mouth.
mouthfeel.
I feel like they say mouthfeel because oral sensation sounds so much
I
worse.
don't know what to tell you, man. I can make 1,000 jokes out of mouthfeel,
I
just like I
these
can
jokes out of
sensation. I
sensation.
know, but I'm saying, like, I'm,
Anyway, I took away. I'm
all
sorry.
right.
I took away from
I
your.
don't even know what I was saying.
I'm sorry. I
That's cool.
apologize. That's awful. I feel bad now.
No, it's viscous, it's warm, it's entire, it's coating my whole mouth. There's
Hmm.
nothing negative about it. The
No.
burn eliminated quickly.
Yeah.
Like
And
that's
it goes down the throat, and there's burn there, but there's not in the. It doesn't linger in your mouth.
no, there's not a like I'm almost I think I'm to the point now, hopefully, where like if I drank a bottom shelf $10, you know, that maybe I would
White
understand like
dog.
what is like we've discussed many times maybe buying Benchmark because Benchmark bourbon is Buffalo Trace's absolutely baseline. We're almost going to throw it out, but instead we'll give it to you bourbon, right? It's you can buy like a 17-liter bottle for like 16 cents, but that's not true. But you know what I mean?
It's
It's
not.
cheap as hell and it's Buffalo Trace.
Hmm.
So it's the only reason I keep thinking we should just try it to see. Maybe we should give them
I
a
don't know.
review because
I
some
feel
people
like
can't afford what we can afford or what you can afford
I
or what I
don't
can afford.
like Buffalo Trace's flagship product, the Buffalo Trace. I
He
think
doesn't like Buffalo Trace bourbon. I'm okay with it. I'm not.
it's not good. I
I
don't
think
enjoy
it's
it. I
good.
think if Buffalo Trace really wanted to impress people,
Right.
they should be putting their best foot forward with their Buffalo Trace product. Because I understand that Weller's great. I understand that all
But how
these.
deep is best foot forward? You're talking about Buffalo Trace. Like you're talking about the antique collection they should put in their Buffalo Trace bottle.
I'm thinking they should put something better into the Buffalo Trace, like even if it's like a younger aged version of an antique collection thing, because right now that Buffalo Trace as is, I don't care for it.
I think it's right there with the 90s to me. Like any of those 90 proofers, like Wooden Bills and not. I mean, it's better than Town Branch.
Yes,
All right,
but
but it's
that's
not
not
Eagle
saying
Rare.
anything because Tom Branch is
Yep.
cat piss.
Right, but it's not Eagle Rare. But Eagle Rare is Buffalo Trace property.
Right. And if they even did like
Which, given Eagle Rare's 10-year
if
age,
they did like a 5 year Eagle Rare and called it Buffalo Trace, that would be something. Because there's a lot of flavor profile in
5-year Buffalo Trace and called it something
a
else.
5 year Eagle Rare and put it in as their Buffalo
What's up
Trace.
with Buffalo Trace though?
Yeah, but I'm saying like if they put that in the Buffalo Trace
Okay,
bottle,
we're just arguing semantics.
yes, that's right.
That's nothing.
I know. So yeah, no, this that's
We
this
should do
is
Buffalo Trace in a 90 blind. I've said that before.
we can absolutely do
Like
that if
that.
you want. We've got lots of blinds.
Hey, there's a lot of 90s too. Yeah.
That's true. So
We have to establish our like something
yeah,
balance so you guys knew something. Although, come on, man, that's kind of shitty too in a way. Sorry, I said shit. But like it's kind of weird in a way because it's like we had to establish something, but then that was the beginning of it. It was the first time we ever filmed doing like sipping on whiskey and stuff, bourbons, whiskeys, whatever. And it's like now we're gonna compare it to what we thought like 6 months ago when we hadn't ever tasted that. Like I said in a 90, I want to put 1783 in a 90
okay.
proof. Because 1783 Evan Williams is really, really tasty. We both liked it on the very first episode. I still have the very first bottle we drank. Just for fun. Like eventually I might do something with it. But like you know what I mean? Because that's a $20 bottle.
Yeah,
And Buffalo Trace, if you find it, is usually only 30-35. I mean, it's almost twice the cost,
but it's still
but
harder to find.
it's still hard to find. But it's also about the easiest to find of the Buffalo Traces. Then you end up in the everything else category, which
Hmm.
because I don't know why. We've said this before, but like I think it's a marketing scheme to a degree. Like let's
Sure.
just not release it too often, so therefore they're gonna jump at it. You know what I mean? And you had the Eagle Rare 17.
17 year, and it was not good.
See? An Eagle Rare
I
is
had
my favorite.
Pappy Van Winkle, I had the Rabbit Hole Derringer, and I had the Eagle Rare 17 almost back to back.
We have yet to do that Derringer ever on any show.
I feel like I have to buy a new bottle because I don't think that's actual Derringer. It's the thumbprint edition or whatever.
There's more editions of Derringer
This was like a
Rabbit.
collectible version, and it didn't taste right. It didn't taste like the Derringer I had when I went and I had it side by side by Pappy.
But then it goes into that what if something's been open versus not. I have
Maybe.
never once seen one episode on any of the awesome whiskey tuber shows that I watch routinely. It's Bourbon Night, Bourbon Real Talk Whiskey Dictionary, where somebody compared something that's been open from 6 months or a year to something that's unopened, and I think we should do that.
We can
And if
absolutely
they
do
do it before us, they're lying and cheating
that.
and stealing, and
Coming after you.
they actually watched our show, so
So,
we're okay.
well,
It's
yeah, we're
fine. Go
fine.
ahead,
Happy
do it.
with
It's
it. Yeah.
fine. It's fine.
I don't know that I'd pick a winner because they're all different things. Like they're definitely all good for what they are. Like the small batch, cheap, inexpensive, tasty. Toasted, I love toasted expressions. If they did an extra toasted barrel proof, I would
Wow.
be in love.
But they would have to jack the price up.
Oh, for
They would
sure.
have to because then they're going to add something that's not watered down
Yep.
with something that they have to age for
Right.
longer. And
You're going, yeah,
you know,
no, this, like, I don't know how much this one, this was
oh,
62, so,
they were all 59.99 and
yeah.
20
Right.
or 8 or 9 or whatever. What would you pick about barrel proof if you had to guess right now? Guess, talk to, like bullet barrel strength or what other barrel strengths did we try online? Excuse me.
Everything that we got from, It's Bourbon Night was barrel proof. The New Lou was a barrel proof.
The Woodenville.
Woodinville was a barrel
Woodenville's
proof.
gone.
The Knob Creek
The Knob Creek.
is a single barrel.
Single
These are
barrel.
all single barrels.
What's the proof of that? If you don't mind.
120. So it
Mm,
may not be a barrel proof, but it's damn close because 120 proof is,
well, apparently some of them evaporate water and others evaporate more alcohol.
yeah,
Again, I
that's
think
very
it's the
unusual and
heat, the
weird. But
cycle.
to get it at an exact 120, I'm assuming there's some
I
type of,
told him earlier, for whatever reason, apparently Bullet ages their barrels upright, standing upright. They call it pallet stacking or whatever, as opposed to the rolling kind of on the sides like this barrel
yeah,
is. So, and what I loved Bullet barrel strength. I still love it. I recently found it in a small store that I've never been to before, but I was in that area for a specific reason. I haven't bought it, but they had like a lot of bottles of it, so it's
right
something I'll
now.
probably grab one. Because other people have said that it's hard to find, and now that they
It's
said it,
not as hard to
can't
find
find it.
in Buffalo as it is around here.
But we live in small town New York.
Right.
We live in Bumblefart, USA. So notice how I adjusted the fart part of that. So anyway, So we're
Cool.
kind of just shooting the breeze, but I find that the barrel proofs or even if you want to go to bottle and bond and over slash barrel proofs, anything over 100, I find that it's more fun to sip at than I do
Hmm.
the smaller ones. Every time I throw something at him, for instance, and I'm not putting him down by any means, okay, smartest guy probably I know. Um, he's I say something about 80s, like should we do an 80 blind? Should we 80 blind? Like see, he's smiling now, and I get it because I don't want to drink it either necessarily, but like Jim Beam White Label is the best selling bottle of bourbon every year worldwide. Jim Beam like White Label.
So
Yeah, and it's not good.
awful.
It's not Town Branch, but it's not good. And then there's other ones too, like whether or not it's Jack Daniels, which if you really do your research, and we've done a lot of people, including former master distillers or former assistant master distillers and current distillers of Jack Daniels will tell you it's a bourbon, but we don't want to use the word bourbon because we use the charcoal filtration system. Blow up, 80 proof Jack Daniels Black Label Old Number Seven is the number one best-selling bottle of whiskey in the world every year. It it just beats out Johnny Walker Red,
Sure.
right? And 80 proofs, like, and we don't have to get into the scotches, but we could do Jim Beam and we could do some other 80s that are like, and every time I bring it up to him, he's like, do we really have to film that? Like, is that
I
necessary?
don't want to vomit in front of people.
You don't?
No,
I've done it so many times. Pretend you're in college.
I still never.
You never vomited in front of somebody ever?
Not in
I can
college,
believe it.
no.
No, I'm not in college. Oh, my bad. I mean, a couple nights ago, but anyway.
Well, that's not in my college. I
No.
went to a party somewhere else,
See vomits in your college.
and I had one shot of this off-label tequila. It was a little bottle I bought. First drink I had all night, and I immediately got chucked off of a balcony. It was bad. Like I was
Oh,
like,
Canadian.
yeah,
You didn't even know if you hit somebody?
yeah, I didn't. It
Okay,
was good.
okay, okay.
It was just like plant shrubs and stuff. It was fine.
And you
I
woke
was
up
like,
with no
"Bleh,
stitches or in a
bleh."
bathtub or
Yeah, no,
anybody who took your
it was like Epicac. It was immediate. It was so fast
epic. Oh my god.
to
Oh my god. The stuff that they literally give you to make you
make you
vomit.
vomit. Yep,
There's
absolutely.
nothing short of Epicac.
Yeah, it was.
We should refer to Town Branch as Epicac.
No, it's cat piss.
Okay. But well, we should just leave them alone because eventually they'll get mad if we get big enough, which we
Bring it
won't
on.
unless you subscribe.
I
Anyway,
stand by what I said.
fair enough. I'm not arguing.
Yeah.
You we were talking about tequila, so I was like, fuck, I don't know what having that.
So overall, all great products if you can find them. Definitely
Yeah.
worth their money.
I like Elijah Craig stuff.
Elijah Craig's good stuff. It's not bad at all. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed. I'm I'm loving it.
Yeah.
Ba da ba ba ba.
Hey, oh my God.
I'm neat.
I'm Rod.
This has been
The
the Bourbon
Bourbon
Barrel.
Barrel.